Meeting 27 in the Legislature in Guam is back in session. Good afternoon, colleagues. We're back in second reading. We're on Bill number 27-37, COR, sponsored by Tina Rose Munoz Barnes. Majority Leader, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to set Bill number 27-37 COR aside at this time.
On the motion to set the bill aside, is there any objection? Seeing no objection, motion carries. Thank you. We're now on Bill number 37-37 COR, sponsored by William A. Parkinson and others. Senator Parkinson, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. As an opening statement, I want to read into the record the findings and intent of this bill. Madam Speaker, I motion to move Bill 37-37 COR to the third reading to discuss.
You may speak on the motion.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. As an opening statement, I want to read into the record the findings and intent of this bill. Senator Jose Pito Terlaje first introduced Bill 380-35 LS on July 14, 2020, relative to commissioning an actuarial study to determine the feasibility of allowing public safety personnel to retire at an earlier age, owing to the physically and mentally taxing nature of the work. This had been long sought after by many public safety employees who noted most other jurisdictions in the United States offered a separate, lower retirement age for public safety personnel compared to other government employees. This also contributed to the attrition rate of public safety employees in the government of Guam as they sought better pay and benefits in Hawaii or the mainland. While this did not pass in the 35th Guam Legislature, Senator Jose Pito Terlaje did not give up and introduced Bill 137-36 COR on May 6, 2021 for an identical purpose. The bill was incorporated into Public Law 36-107, the Fiscal Year 2022 Budget Act, and made law. The actuarial study found a financially sound way to accomplish an earlier retirement age for uniformed personnel of the government of Guam, while also providing better retirement accruals for all government of Guam employees in the Defined Benefits 1.75 plan. Senator Jose Pito Terlaje introduced Bill 346-36 COR on October 21, 2022, the culmination of years of work in determining a financially feasible solution to this long-running problem of benefit parity for our public safety employees with their off-island counterparts. The legislation was passed and signed into law as Public Law 36-130 on December 27, 2022. The last piece of legislation Senator Terlaje authored. He passed away just 1 month later on January 30, 2023. This important piece of legislation, which Senator Terlaje fought so long and hard for, should appropriately be named after him. Thank you, Madam Speaker. With that, I yield my time.
Thank you, Senator. On the bill, 37-37, is there anyone else who'd like to be recognized? Anyone else like to be recognized? If not, Senator Parkinson, you may close on the bill.
I yield my time, Madam Chair. I think I've said all that needs to be said.
To place the bill 37-37 COR on the third reading, is there any objection? Seeing no objection, motion carries. Resolution number 14-37 COR, sponsored by Senator Parkinson. Senator Parkinson, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to move resolution number 14-37 COR to the third reading for discussion.
You may speak on the motion.
Federal Public Law 110-229, the Consolidated Natural Resources Act of 2008, states that the governor has the authority to petition the U.S. Department of Homeland Security to expand the Guam CNMI visa waiver program to include the Philippines. It states that the Secretary of Homeland Security may waive visa requirements in the case of an alien applying for admission as a non-immigrant visitor for business or pleasure and solely for entry into and stay in Guam or the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands for a period not to exceed 45 days. If the Secretary of Homeland Security, after consultation with the Secretary of Interior, Secretary of State, the Governor of Guam, and the Governor of the Commonwealth of the Northern Marianas determines that an adequate arrival and departure control system has been developed in Guam and the CNMI Islands, and such a waiver does not represent a threat to the welfare, safety, or security of the United States or its territories and commonwealths. Pursuant to the authority granted to this federal law, Resolution 14-37 seeks to give support to Governor Lulian Guerrero in her continuing efforts for a Guam-Philippine visa waiver program. In October 2022, Governor Leon Guerrero met with officials from the United States Department of State and the U.S. Embassy in Manila, as well as with officials with the Department of Defense, where she renewed efforts for a Guam-Philippine visa waiver program. This resolution would lend support to that effort and affirm the legislature's continued determination for a Guam-Philippine visa waiver program. GVB President Carl Gutierrez has stressed the need for a Filipino tourist visa waiver to further the economic recovery efforts from the pandemic. The Philippines is the fifth largest source of tourists for Guam, and those numbers could be greatly improved. With a burgeoning middle class and a fast-growing economy, the Philippines is poised to be a beneficial tourism market for Guam. And with many people on Guam having strong ties to the Philippines, the visa waiver would draw tourists looking to visit family on Guam. Statistics from the government of the Philippines show that 4.3 million tourists from the Philippines travel outside of the country each year for pleasure or business. A Philippine visa waiver would bolster our tourism and recovery and encourage trade and investment from the Philippines. This would create more jobs and business opportunities for our local people. According to the GVB's preliminary January visitor arrival numbers, we received 39,633 tourists from Korea in January, 4,806 tourists from Japan, and 1,192 tourists from the Philippines. With Japan's numbers slow to improve, it is important that we continue to drive growth in other markets, like the Philippines, to maintain our economic recovery and support our tourism industry. For the Filipino community that lives here on Guam, it has long been a wish that members of their family can visit them here so they can spend quality time with them. And the visa requirement has proven a barrier to this for so many families. Spending time with family is one of the most valuable things in life. Seeing our loved ones give us the strength and perseverance to face the challenges that come our way. And so I urge my colleagues to support this resolution. Thank you, Madam Chair. I yield the rest of my time.
Thank you, Senator. On resolution number 14-37 COR, is there anyone else who'd like to be recognized? On the resolution, if not, then sponsor may close.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to make an amendment to add Senators Joanne Brown, Jesse Lujan, and Telo Taitagui as co-sponsors on this resolution.
On the motion to add co-sponsors as listed, is there any objection? Seeing no objection, motion carries. Senator Parkin, so the motion was to place resolution number 14-37 COR on the third reading file as amended. Is there any objection? Seeing no objection, motion carries. We're now on resolution number 21-37 COR. Majority Leader Senator Shelton, you're recognized.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I move to set resolution number 21-37 COR aside at this time.
On that motion, is there any objection? Seeing no objection, motion carries. Resolution number 30-37.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to set aside resolution number 30-37 COR as well.
On that motion, is there any objection? Seeing no objection, motion carries.
Madam Speaker, I move to recess until 10 a.m. Wednesday.
On that motion to recess until 10 a.m. on Wednesday, is there any objection? Seeing no objection, we are recessed until 10 a.m. on Wednesday, the 29th.